The sun rose softly over the city, pouring a warm glow through the wide kitchen windows of Kelly and Mark's brownstone. It was their favorite time of day, when the world outside felt quiet, the house still felt half asleep, and their coffee mugs were warm enough to wrap both hands around. Kelly stood at the counter, flipping through the printed rundown for the morning show. Her highlighter slid across the page in smooth strokes. She always liked preparing early, sharpening her mind before the studio chaos took over. Mark walked in moments later with a sleepy grin, rubbing his eyes as he yawned. "Good morning, superstar," he said, leaning down to kiss her on the cheek. "Morning," Kelly replied, lifting her mug. "We've got an interesting lineup today." Mark grabbed his own mug and took a sip. "Anyone exciting?" "Adam Rodriguez. He's talking about a new role, but apparently he's also dealing with teeth grinding. It came up in pre-interviews." Mark raised an eyebrow. "Teeth grinding? On air?" "Well, it's a real issue for a lot of people. There's a trending treatment for it. I was thinking of bringing it up." Mark took another sip and nodded slowly. "Are we about to turn a health segment into something wild again?" Kelly laughed. "When do we not?" For a moment, they enjoyed the silence, both knowing that by the time they reached the studio, everything would shift into a faster pace, louder tone, and brighter lights. Their small domestic bubble would burst, replaced by producers, audience members, and national cameras. But that was their life, and they had learned, over nearly 30 decades of marriage, that their secret strength on television was bringing pieces of their home life with them. The energy backstage that morning was electric. Assistants hurried past with clipboards, producers reviewed segment notes, and the warm-up comedians sent waves of laughter rolling through the studio audience. Kelly smoothed her outfit and adjusted her microphone as she peeked at the cheering crowd. "Great audience today," she said. Mark joined her at the curtain. "They look energized, or maybe they had more coffee than we did." The theme music began, cameras tilted into place, a booming voice announced their names, and just like that, showtime. They walked onto the stage hand in hand, smiling brightly as the audience applauded. Their chemistry wasn't rehearsed, it was the natural result of years spent navigating real life together. "Welcome, everyone," Kelly began warmly. "Today we have a fantastic guest joining us, actor and all-around amazing human, Adam Rodriguez. Yes, plus we're diving into some health trends that have been making headlines." The audience murmured with interest. After a quick intro, Adam joined them on stage, waving to the crowd. They chatted about his latest project, his daily routines, and the strange things actors do to get into character. Soon, the conversation drifted towards sleep habits, an easy transition into Adam's struggle with nighttime teeth grinding. Adam admitted, somewhat bashfully, "I have been grinding my teeth at night. I've tried mouth guards, but I can't stand wearing them." Kelly's face lit up with curiosity. "You know," she said, "there's a treatment people are talking about a lot recently." Mark glanced over, already sensing where this was heading. "Oh boy, here we go." Kelly continued anyway. "Some people get a tiny injection in the jaw muscles to reduce tension. A lot of folks say it helps." Adam nodded. "I've heard of that, but I wasn't sure how it worked." Mark chimed in cautiously. "Doesn't it, make things a little stiff for a while?" Kelly rolled her eyes. "No, you can still talk, you can still smile. People use it all the time." Mark lifted a finger. "Maybe not right away, though." Their audience chuckled. Kelly laughed too, but she saw the mischievous glint in Mark's eyes, the same one he always got when he felt a debate brewing. "Well," she teased, "you always think everything is impossible for the first few days." Mark leaned back. "I'm just saying if I suddenly couldn't smile, I'd be concerned." Kelly tapped her cue cards against the desk like she was giving a rebuttal. "You smiled just fine. Anyway, I was talking to Adam." The crowd oohed. Mark tried to smother a grin. "Is that so?" But entertainment-loving Kelly wasn't done. "And when you start leaning into me later asking why I'm not talking, remember this moment." The studio erupted. Kelly laughed too, as Adam hid his face for a second as the crowd reacted with whistles, applause, and giggles. Mark, however, blinked, caught off guard by how quickly his wife had turned the joke around. It wasn't inappropriate, just bold, teasing, clever. The kind of remark that landed perfectly with viewers, but made him sit up straighter. Wow. Okay. All right. We should take a quick break. The audience howled. It was the kind of moment fans adored. Raw, unpredictable, and real. Backstage during the commercial break, everything looked the same to the crew. Cameras moving, makeup artists dabbling at foreheads, producers whispering updates. But between Kelly and Mark, there was a silent shift. Kelly raised her eyebrows. "You okay?" He nodded. "Yeah, just didn't expect that one." "It was just a joke." "I know, but his voice carried a small edge." She studied him for a second. "Are you upset?" "No," he insisted, perhaps too quickly. Kelly didn't push further, but something told her she'd hear more about it later. The show went smoothly. Their guest was charming, the segments flowed, and the audience remained lively. But once the cameras went down, Mark seemed uncharacteristically quiet. They walked to the green room together. "Come on," Kelly said softly. "Talk to me." Mark finally sighed. "I'm not mad. I just felt blindsided." She nodded slowly. "Okay, that's fair." He rubbed the back of his neck. "Half the time when we joke like that, I'm fine. But today, it caught me off guard. That's all." Kelly reached out, resting her hand on his arm. "I wasn't trying to embarrass you." "I know," he said, calmer now. "It just landed harder than usual." Kelly smiled gently. "Well, at least the audience loved it." He cracked a reluctant smile. "Oh, they definitely did. Besides, you give me a hard time on air all the time." "That's true," he said. "Maybe you finally outplayed me." She laughed. "My goal isn't to win. It's to keep you on your toes." He wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You do a great job of that." By the time they returned home that evening, social media had exploded. Clips of the exchange were circulating everywhere. Kelly just destroyed Mark on live TV. This is why they're the funniest couple on morning television. Someone give them a sitcom already. Fans debated which of them had won the playful exchange. Some rooted for Mark's concern about treatments, others praised Kelly for her wit. But what surprised both of them was how many viewers related to the moment, not because of the medical topic, but because it felt like an authentic, married couple disagreement. People shared stories about partners teasing each other, misunderstandings that turned into jokes, playful back and forth during stressful moments. It showed why the couple remained beloved. They were honest, imperfect, human. Later that night, after dinner, Mark sat on the couch while Kelly curled up beside him. "You know, we've been doing this show together long enough that people forget we're also just us." Kelly nodded. "And sometimes we forget too." He looked at her thoughtfully. "Being on TV together doesn't mean we can't talk about how we feel privately." "I agree." She squeezed his hand. "If something bothers you, even a joke, I want you to tell me." "And I will," he promised. "And," she added with a smirk, "I reserve the right to win occasionally." Mark laughed loudly. "You didn't win. You just caught me off guard." "Same thing," Kelly teased. He wrapped an arm around her. "You're impossible." "Yet still irresistible," she countered. He kissed her forehead. "Always." The following morning, they addressed the incident subtly, but with humor that showed everything was fine. Mark opened the show dramatically. "Good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I just want you all to know my jaw is working perfectly." Kelly chimed in. "Mine too. We tested it before the show." The audience erupted. Mark leaned closer to her. "And we are absolutely, definitely, completely fine." Kelly nodded at the crowd. "We've been married 29 years, and if this is the argument that breaks us, then we've been living a miracle." Everyone laughed. The tension was gone, and the moment felt warm, honest, and real. Fans didn't love Kelly and Mark because they were perfect. They loved them because they were real. The occasional on-air disagreement didn't damage their image,
It strengthened it. It reminded viewers that long marriages involve humor. Sometimes jokes land awkwardly. Sometimes people feel caught off guard. Sometimes love looks like learning from each other. In a world full of polished celebrity couples pretending everything is flawless, Kelly and Mark openly embraced their imperfections. And audiences loved them for that. Nothing dramatic had happened. No betrayal, no scandal, no secret rupture. Just two people who loved each other deeply, navigating a playful moment that hit differently than expected. It wasn't an explosive split. It wasn't a meltdown. It wasn't a live altercation. It was simply a married couple having a real moment in front of millions and then talking it out like adults afterward. And that, more than anything, was what made the world love them.